Oh, we struggle in all aspects of school.
Yeah.
We had PE down. That's about it.
And lunch.
PE and
I was ready for lunch.
That has stayed true to form.
Sean Watson, another step back, which I will say a lot of his problem that O-line. 8 sacks.
Yeah.
Good.
He's gonna be back like when Big came back to the league after the dog hit him.
Yes.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your
Hey, Wabash Nation, and welcome to another episode of Benchwarmers Basement Banter. Woody with
Rogers and
Stat guy.
that guy. Yeah, we're doing something a little different here. We're NBA talking this one.
Yes.
Before that, though, whoa, hold the phone.
He said
Shout
Wabash Nation, but
Yep.
YouTube, this is episode 45 of the show. 45
not
of our
canceled yet.
long form
Did you see
episodes.
this happening? I did see this happening.
First off, on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. We're on TikTok. Doing well on TikTok. Follow the TikTok. We have an Instagram page, an X page, a Facebook page, and a Kick page.
a Discord.
And a Discord. Discord, we need people to join that because our TikToks are a little much sometimes on answering questions. And you guys can ask questions on that. But
I love it. Man,
yes.
every time we do this intro, I feel like I'm learning something. I'm like, we have this too. And this
Yes.
this is cool.
Yes.
I mean, I knew that. So, yeah. Good old production meetings. But, yeah, no, thank you. Whatever you're watching us on, listening, whatever, we appreciate it. And hope you guys enjoy the ride. So,
Yeah.
like I said, we talk a little bit of everything. And this one, we're going to dig into the archives. I guess
Yes.
you'd say the NBA ones. And I'll admit, I am not the NBA guy.
No.
Pretty obvious. So, I'm going to try to just be kind of the driver here, not
Mm-hmm.
wreck it. And let you guys put it on a tee. You guys have a ball. What you think about these? Some of these trades, like,
yeah.
we're going to
So
start.
we're doing
sorry
worst
about that.
NBA trades. Worst NBA
Worst
trades of all time. So
all
we've
time.
we've got
Yes.
a decent amount here. We're not really ranking them. We're just going to talk
Yeah.
about them.
Yeah.
And
We
then
might
kind
at
of
the
go
end, what
from
do you say
there.
at the end?
Yeah,
off
we'll
the
see
cuff,
how
we'll,
our
like-
time works out.
Yeah,
and-
we might
and-
each of us pick which one we think's the worst. Or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that,
We'll just pick our
crazy.
worst 3.
Yeah, which for me doing research on this, it was kind of crazy because once again, it's so hard to compare like the trades now, draft capital, because the draft's changed so much.
Yes.
To back then, and what really blew my mind, which we're about to touch on some of these trades from back in the day. I had no idea the drama back in the day. Like I kind of thought it was like baseball, where you were drafted to a team, you played that team
No.
up until free agency was thing. Like I did not think there was demanding of trades.
Yes.
All this, I don't know, but I'm an
Basketball
NBA
is
historian.
such a different sport because there's only so many people that could make it.
And there's
That's
only
fair.
2 rounds.
There's only 2
Well, yeah,
rounds in
yeah.
the draft, and there's only 12 spots on a
Yep,
team.
yep.
That's
But I mean, back
crazy.
then too, though, you had like the ABA merger, like that
Yep.
was factored into one of these trades. Like you had so much different stuff going on, and like I said, I'm not a historian of it. I looked into these, I was like, that's fascinating, the angle, and like I said, we'll get into some of these. But there was stuff outside of even
Yes,
basketball. that
yes,
came
there
in.
was.
So,
we're gonna start oldest and then work our way up to the latest.
Yep,
is
sounds
what we're
good.
planning to do. So,
you guys want? I think the oldest one I've got on here is the Bill Russell trade.
yep,
What you got?
Bill Russell.
All right, 1956 is what I had on this.
Yes.
Woo, way back, just a little bit before we were even a thought, I believe.
Caw?
So, yeah, caw.
St. Louis Hawks?
Yes, the St. Louis Hawks. Yes.
So we got the Battle Hawks. I like that with the naming of it. Maybe. I wish they'd bring an NBA team back, but I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
Oh,
I don't know.
the cat Jim Hayes is always tweeting about that. He's like the Pelicans should be in St. Louis.
Who doesn't love the cat?
Yeah.
I love it. He's St. Louis ambassador there. He is. But yeah, in this trade, okay, we had the St. Louis Hawks. As we're talking about them, they made a bad trade, but you know. They had the number 2 pick, I believe, in that draft, and they took Bill Russell, and they traded him to Boston, which we're going to see Boston on the good end.
Yeah.
He did okay there.
Is that kind of why they have so many titles? Just possibly because they won a lot of
Po-
trades? and stuff?
possibly. I
when
mean,
he has 11 of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There was a punchline for how this ended up.
yeah.
But yeah, okay, he got traded for Ed McCauley and Cliff Hagan. I believe the Hawks were in win now mode and the Celtics were just smart. But
Yeah.
what do you think? Like the impact?
The impact cannot be overstated. I mean, this is like quite possibly the winningest person in all of sports history, to be completely honest about it. I mean, Bill Russell just won titles. He printed them out.
Yeah, you nailed it.
That
11.
and,
I was
and anyone named Will Smith that plays baseball.
Well,
It does work out pretty good.
that Will Smith
Catch,
thing is
second
only
pitch.
is not even half of Bill
I know.
Russell's
I
titles
know,
yet.
Which is crazy. But they were on different teams. Ooh, that
True.
would go.
Not
Why
even all
would
the same
Bill
person.
leave? I mean, gosh. Which, yeah, he was the centerpiece of those teams. Just unreal. Like we've said it, 11 titles. Like, how do you win that many? Like, I know the competition different back then, but
Yeah.
how do you win that?
His defense is amazing. Probably the
Yeah.
best defensive player of all time in the NBA.
I agree. Yeah.
Just a crazy athlete too. I think he was kind of like someone else we're going to talk about, who was his nemesis.
Well, now, have I
later.
been wrong on this? I've been wrong on history before. Would he probably be like your first true big man, possibly? Is there anyone going further back?
Yeah,
I
no,
really don't know.
George Mikan was
Oh,
before
you're
him.
right. Yeah.
George
Along
Mikan is
those
kind of the
time
first one I think of
Yeah.
on the Minneapolis Lakers.
Minneapolis. Yeah, see, that's the other thing. All these teams have
Yeah,
moved.
they moved.
I forgot. St. Louis had a team. I was like,
Yeah.
that's cool.
But
But,
Bill
yeah.
is real big with his other person that he's tied into that we'll talk about. And they were like the changing of the guard for big men.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's cool. And like I said, I hate St. Louis on the wrong end of this, but it was slam dunk. That McCauley, I believe he did end up being an all-star a few times with the Hawks, but you cannot compare the impact Russell had with that.
Yeah, when he's got over a decade's worth of titles, it's
Yeah,
just kind of
yeah,
tough to
yeah.
compare anyone that you would have
Exactly.
gotten. Yeah.
That wins most arguments. It does. It
Yeah,
does.
it
But
does.
there was other factors going on back then, like, I hate to bring it up, but I can't remember who the number one team had in that. Like, Russell was the number 2 pick. Obviously, he was the most talented player in that draft from my research.
Yep.
The team was picking number 1. I know we have to acknowledge it. Back then, there was racism, and they didn't want that as face of the franchise.
Okay.
Well, all right, there go your 11 titles out the
Well,
door.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, but that
Turns
was
out the Celtics think winning is a good face.
exactly.
Yes.
It's like I
Yes.
don't care. I just want to win.
So they-
now look who's smart.
The
Yeah.
Rochester Royals
That was
selected
it.
Cy Green from Duquesne University.
Anyone ever heard of him?
Nope. Yeah, I'm not the NBA guy, but no, I don't think so. And I knew Bill Russell.
Also, RFA,
So-
didn't Bill Russell just pass away this past year? Or the year
Yes,
before?
yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. So, but anyway, that's on that trade. The next one we've got on here. Let's see. We're still going way back. 68 Chamberlain.
Yep, his
What you guys got?
the nemesis of Bill Russell.
There you go. Yeah.
Wilt Chamberlain.
that
he
would have
was-
been like. Was that close to the end of Russell's career?
Yeah, Russell would have been a 10-year veteran by the time
Yeah.
that Wilt Chamberlain came around.
No.
Well, no. But
Ty-
when he went to the Lakers.
yeah, when he went to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
Chamberlain
Yeah,
was established.
Chamberlain was close to the same time. I don't know when
Yeah,
he was.
this was the trade with Chamberlain and the 76ers, which the 76ers, if I remember right, they had just made the finals.
Yes.
And they lost, and he wanted the organization to go a different direction than they were going.
Okay.
And which this is the thing, I was like, I did not realize back in the controversy like this. Like, you see this happen all the time now. Guys not happy with management. Well, Wilt, big as name as he was, had pull.
Yeah.
He went to him, didn't like it, and they shipped him out. I've got him to the Lakers in 68.
Yes.
The 76ers got Archie Clark, Daryl Imhoff, Jerry
I'm
Chambers,
gonna say Imhoff,
Cash.
Yeah.
You know?
No. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that you pronounced it correctly.
Yes, we'll give you that.
Sounds good to me. I don't know. This one, guys.
Yeah, he
Thoughts?
once they did. So I looked it up while we was talking. Wilt was drafted 3 years after Bill.
Okay.
So they were pretty close.
Yeah.
Also, Wilt played for the Globetrotters for a year.
I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yes, after he was at Kansas, but before he played in the NBA.
Before NBA? Oh, that's
Yep.
fascinating.
Yep.
They did a pretty good show there in the middle there for him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's
So
good.
It
he
was just all him dunking.
he was
I did
pretty
that.
well.
Alley-oop. Is that where that got? I know Will Ferrell movie had it, but
Yep.
that's good.
They did win a title in '72.
Yes.
With this, and what it did was it kind of formed, a big three with him and Jerry West and Elgin Baylor.
Good call. Yeah.
But you look
That's
at
how
what,
Jerry West got all those assists.
yeah,
I think he had a fair amount before. But that didn't
yeah, I think he did too. But
Well, yeah, as I was, I honestly don't know back on history of Lakers titles, but I was surprised this dude only won one. But then
Yeah.
I was like, wait a second, Russell won 11.
yes, it was.
I think that might have been.
It was Russell that
this
was
is like
getting
the MJ
him.
of the '90s problem.
Exactly.
Well, this is where the Celtics Lakers rivalry
There you
originates. Is these two guys right here, especially these two going against each other so often?
That's crazy.
Because I
and then
think
it
I'm
goes
pretty
on
sure
down.
they may have. Once he went to the Lakers, like it was every year they were playing in the finals against
I could
each
see
other.
that. Yeah, especially not as many
This
teams
is kind of
back
comparable
then.
to why Charles Barkley doesn't have a ring.
Yes,
Yes.
a lot of those in the '90s. Yeah, Carl won, so I was thinking him
Yeah.
and John Stockton. How many finals they made against the Bulls? And
Yeah, Patrick Ewing, any of those guys.
A lot of
Yeah,
them got snuffed
yeah.
in that 90s.
Yes.
Didn't even
Yes,
make
they
it because
did.
of that. Yeah, so
Yes.
that's amazing. Well, hell, while we're on the Lakers train here, that's the next trade. Actually, that's pretty good. Unless I'm missing one.
No, you're missing one.
I'm missing one.
You're
Well,
missing one.
we'll float back to that because
we got-
the
Oh,
Lakers.
was Moses Malone?
Nope. Even older
Cream
than
in
that.
75 is what I had.
Nope, Big O Oscar Robertson.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
in
70, is that
1970.
right?
Yep.
Yep, he's down here.
Yep. The Cincinnati Royals traded him to Milwaukee for Flynn Robinson and Charlie Polk.
Who?
Exactly.
Yep.
Eventually, they got Kareem in this, and they ended up winning some titles
Wow.
because of this. But Big O was the first, like he was Russell Westbrook, except probably more efficient. I
Yes,
think
I would say you're right.
he
Walking
had
triple-double?
he had the triple double record before Russ, and
Okay.
they pretty well gave him up for nothing.
Well, this was the one I saw that there might have been something involved with the coach, Bob
Oh,
Cousy, which
Bob
I'd heard the
Cousy.
name.
Yeah, Bob
I'm
Cousy
sorry.
is a
He's
legend.
a Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And apparently he didn't like being upstaged by a player. And it sounds like they
Tough to
shipped
become
player
a Hall
out
of
town.
Fame coach if you don't have a really good player.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. But, I think they both made the Hall of Fame, so I don't know there. But I'm like,
Kinda
hey,
worked out then, I guess,
maybe
for
if you
him.
guys
So-
would have stayed together. Just a thought.
Fun fact: this team won in '71 before the Lakers won. Actually,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So this is along the same time. Like I said, I think he ended up getting paired with some guy named Lou Alcindor.
Oh,
At the time.
And we might touch on that guy
And
later.
we'll touch on him in a
Yeah,
little bit.
That's a pretty good pairing there.
But yeah, they paired them together, and it worked out well. And Big O is a crazy good basketball player. I
Oh
think
my
he's
gosh,
very
yeah.
underrated, to be honest, in the ranks of all time greats.
Yeah, he kind of slides through the cracks there, I think, from
He did
the team
everything.
he played for,
Yeah.
not being a big national team. And what, one title?
Yes, one
But
title.
yeah, if you actually look at the numbers and we did on the court.
All the numbers on the court is surprisingly like he is up there on all of them.
Yeah,
because he
absolutely.
did it all.
Yeah, exactly. Heck of a talent. That's a good one. You want to go into the cream one now? That was
Yes,
the one
yes.
I passed up on. I'm sorry, Lou Alcindor is what he was in
Yes.
Milwaukee.
Yes.
And I believe, was that in line with when he got traded? It's when the name change
I think it
happened?
was
And
close to that.
Another guy,
I
he
do.
won in Bright Lights of Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is he
There's
like
another big-
Chad Ochocinco?
He paved the way for him. There we go.
I was just gonna
Different
say
team
it's
just
just
got one.
another big guy going to the Lakers.
Yeah.
They like getting their big men.
Yep.
It's worked
They
out
did-
in the past.
It works out pretty well for them.
Yeah, maybe that's how you win all the titles they win, stuff like that.
Heard that
so,
Shaq guy's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like it just years later. The same train keeps going. It's amazing. 75. Kareem and Walt Wesley. Don't know that gentleman, but
Nope, who
won a few
cares?
titles too. To Milwaukee for Elmore Smith, Brad Winters, Junior Brigman, and Dave Myers.
Brian Winters.
There you go. Brian Winters.
But this, was pretty legendary because it formed the Showtime Lakers.
That's right.
Eventually, when Magic got
And then
drafted.
Magic. Yeah.
Because
This is
I
coming back.
I know Magic, the first title that he won, Kareem was hurt in that finals because that's when Magic plays in as a center and starts as a center in that one.
That's right.
But
Trade for a Hall of Famer and then draft one
Draft
shortly
one?
after.
Yeah.
You tend to win some.
Probably
Yes.
win some titles. Yeah,
Yes.
probably. That bodes
and like
well
I
for
said, this is
success.
the birth of the Showtime Lakers, which
Yeah,
is
that's
one of the
amazing.
greatest, most fun teams to watch of
Yeah.
all time.
Oh yeah, and they won 5 titles by Kareem winning. I
Yeah.
don't know how many if you overlap it. Like when Kareem retired, Magic, there was more. I really don't know, but they were an amazing.
they-
Did he
they
ever
were
win, win one with that Kareem?
I'm not sure.
I think, but I'm not for sure because
Yeah.
Magic went up until the 90s. Because I remember
Yes.
Jordan's first title was against the Lakers, I believe,
Correct.
in 90, 91. So, but yeah,
No,
I mean,
Magic is 80, 82, 85, 87, 88.
so I'd say that's probably a few.
and that's 5.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
And Kareem won 5. That's probably
The same 5.
the same 5.
Yeah.
Might have been, yeah. But I mean, a heck of a move here. He
Kareem
won-
did win one before though. He
Okay.
won in
in-
71.
yeah, in Milwaukee.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's the same exact one. He won.
And he had the
Yes.
scoring title, didn't he, up until LeBron?
Yes, yep.
Yep, there
Yep.
you go.
Greatest
So,
scorer, greatest high school athlete possibly of all time.
which one?
Kareem.
Oh, I was like, LeBron was pretty good too.
No,
Yeah, I gotcha.
Kareem went from 4 years of high school to like 4 years of college. Never lost a game
Holy crap.
because
Try
he
that
was
one, Ron.
he was on the UCLA
Oh,
teams
yeah.
back
Was
in
that
the
John
day.
Wooden days?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Didn't Trevor Lawrence do that too?
I
Yeah.
think he got spanked
Yeah.
at Clemson once.
Yeah, he
I
did.
think. Yeah,
But
towards the
yeah,
end of
I
it.
don't
But
know.
He did have. A
I
heck
don't
of a
know
run.
if Kareem
Yeah.
actually ever lost in college. I'd have
That's
to look
crazy.
it
I
up.
don't think Trevor's NFL career has quite been the same. But
No,
you know.
not really close.
Not exactly. But at that note, I think we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll modernize a little bit. We're
Yes.
talking more trades. And Well, I didn't get as modern as I thought. I missed. We had a few more. From
Yeah,
back in the day,
we're still
so.
making our way up.
Yeah, these are the ones we had to look up. Can't quite remember it, but do know the name. And one of our guys near and dear to the show pointed out to me this next gentleman, Moses Malone, is not Carl's uncle. He told me for a while. I was like, real funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, now this one was confusing. So correct me if I'm wrong on this one. I counted this as two kind of bad trades for two different teams.
Yeah,
You agree?
his career is very weird when it started.
Off odd, but once again, okay, this happened in 1976, first trade. This also gets confusing because it's the NBA ABA
Yes.
merger time.
Yes.
So he was actually in the ABA.
So he got he went straight from high school,
yes,
selected third round in the ABA.
ABA, yes.
ABA All-Star Rocket or as a rookie, merged with the NBA in 76. He ended up landed with the Buffalo Braves.
Yes.
Buffalo Buffaloes?
No,
Was he Portland first? Hold on.
no.
Oh, okay.
Utah Stars in the ABA.
Buffalo.
Went to Buffalo Braves, who traded him after 2 games to the Rockets.
Oh, okay. See, I saw that Portland, maybe they had his rights or something, trading the Braves for a first-round pick, and then what you just said. Either way, so we're focusing on playing 2 games for the Buffalo Braves,
Yes.
and then a little bit of a slight misevaluation there, I'd say. A little bit. So, for first-round picks, 2 first-round picks, is that what you got?
Okay, actually,
And $232,000.
I am really, as I
right.
keep looking into this, I am really confused. This is odd. So actually, Portland was involved somehow
Yeah, 76.
in 76. He was selected first overall. They
Yeah.
acquired Maurice Lucas, chose Malone for trading purposes because they did have Bill Walton at the time.
Yep, they were stacked in their front.
Yes, but man, if they would have kept it, they would have been really stacked, and they
Yeah,
did
and I
not
think he was
realize
a little more
that.
healthy than Bill Walton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bill Walton back in the
Yep.
day. But
So they traded him to the Buffalo Braves.
there you go.
He played 2
2 games.
2 games.
and then
They
gone.
could not meet his playing time demands and traded him to the Rockets.
That gets even funnier.
Yes, to the Rockets in trade for first round picks.
I mean, I'm sorry if you guys misfortune, but maybe put the best player on the court. Just thought the guy's like 6'10", can dunk on everybody.
He was only like 20 years old too, and was already an ABA All Star. Like, this was obvious. This guy had all the talent in the world.
He had a little bit of tape on him, a little bit. Someone go watch the freaking game and scout it. Like, come on.
He 18-year-old in the ABA, which I mean that had it like the competition wasn't as fierce, but still, yeah,
It's
he's
close.
in the
It really was
he's
close
in the
back then.
ABA and was an All Star as an 18-year-old. Come on, guys.
I'm sorry, to me, ABA, I think Flint, Michigan, make it all. Little pearl, maybe.
He was on the Spirit of St. Louis team. I don't know if that was a St. Louis team,
you're
but
right. I remember seeing that at St. Louis,
Yeah.
Union Station.
Yep,
They
yep.
got something up for him there. So yeah, he goes down and I started to say top 50 player, better than that.
yeah,
Moses Malone was top.
he was great.
pretty dang good. So
On those, and then he eventually ends up in the 76ers. That's kind of the time I remember him most playing with
Yeah.
Dr. J.
there you
in
go.
there.
Won a title?
Yeah,
I think yeah,
they did.
yeah.
They may have won a few.
You have to think that there was some conversation that happened before that because, like, not just like, oh, we sat you for 10 minutes in the second game. He's like, nah, I can't do this. Trade me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, maybe that he was told that he wasn't going to be
gosh.
playing.
I don't know, but I'm like, there had to be more to it. But that's the thing about these trades we're talking about back then. It's like so much speculation. And I was looking into it with like the Wilt one. A lot of this was under wraps. They didn't have media. They have today.
Yeah.
It was like, a year later, it's like, it was such a stupid trade. Why did they do it? Well, because he wasn't going to play. He wanted to go there. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't
Yeah.
have what we have nowadays.
Yeah.
Where you can't fart and everybody knows about
Yes.
it. Like, so.
Yeah, he said he was going to retire if they didn't trade him. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like their hands are kind of tied. So, and that's the crazy thing. This still happens today. Just everybody knows about it.
Yes, exactly.
Which we'll get into those.
So
But, you guys, the next trade you got Pippen, or did I miss one again? 'Cause we're hopping around a little bit.
yes,
87 is what I had.
87. Yeah, it looks like
it's big.
87, then 92 is our next.
Yeah, we got Jordan. We got Batman as Robin. There
Yes.
we go.
Yep.
yeah.
The Bulls wanted him hardcore. Like I just noticed from watching the documentary.
Yes,
like,
they
scouted
that
him.
was their guy
Yeah.
they wanted.
Yeah. They knew they couldn't get him in the drafts. He went number 5, and he actually, it was kind of cool. Last Dance documentary. You guys totally recommend it on Netflix.
Yes.
On soft
Yes,
subject,
absolutely.
well worth
I mean,
It's a
if
great
you didn't
watch.
watch that during COVID when nothing else was on, I don't
Yeah.
know what you was doing. But
Oh, yeah.
if not,
Nothing blew
Yeah.
up.
like
I-
watch
my-
it again.
That
If,
actually revitalized the whole sports card
It
market.
really
Yeah,
did.
it
Yeah,
did.
I did. Wish I'd have sold a lot more than that. But, it's kind of in the tank now. But no, it was crazy. I mean, they needed help for Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually was a late bloomer. Like, I don't think he had much of a high school career because he's
No.
height.
Yes.
Well, they said that he
Came late.
grew like 8 inches in college.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like, it was crazy.
Yeah. I don't even think he was on the team starting college,
Yeah.
was he?
I
I think it was
think-
like the year freshman year, he had that growth spurt.
Yes.
And it was like, okay, you're not the water boy, you're freaking playing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he just developed.
And
Well,
went to a
developed.
small school in Arkansas
Exactly, in
too.
Arkansas. I started
Yeah.
to say Central
I think
Arkansas.
I've
It
heard
may
the
not be
term
right.
that like he was the first like prototypical point
He
forward.
was.
Yes,
Like,
he was. So versatile.
because he was being a point guard, everything until he had that big growth spurt. Still had the skill
Yeah.
set, then he had the size too.
See, you nailed it
Yeah.
right there. He grew up playing that way.
Yeah.
And then
If
it's
you
the
look
other
at it,
sides.
like I'll just bring this up. Everyone compares LeBron to MJ. LeBron compares to Pippen way more.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. As far as
and
skill
like
set, what they bring in size,
T Mac
yeah.
also compared to Pippen more,
Yeah.
and it just the point forward. But that, yeah, as you said,
Yeah.
that was a great thing that you brought up. He was the first point forward.
Yeah, and I mean Pippen. If you guys want to watch our show, we have on the greatest NBA players our opinion. He was
Yeah.
one for me, top
Yep.
10 player. He was great. I don't even think Jordan overshadowed him that much. They were both great. That's how you win 6 titles.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's how you win
Great
6.
defensive player too. Absolute
Exactly.
great defensive.
I think Jordan
player.
gave him a lot of credit for that.
Yeah.
It's his best. The way he studied,
Mm-hmm.
you know, was smart, could defend anybody. But back to this trade. Okay, the Sonics drafted him 5th
Yep.
overall. The Bulls had the 8th pick on a gentleman named Olden
Polanese.
Polonese. Thank you.
Polonese.
And now
who-
here's where it was sketchy. There was conditional picks that the Bulls sent them
Mm-hmm.
that I really couldn't find exactly. Either way, it was a slam dunk.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
was-
related to much.
Yeah, it didn't. It would have been like,
oh.
oh, but they got this all-star.
Odin Polonese averaged 7.8 points and 6.7 rebounds through his
How long in
career.
career?
He played 1,058 games. His,
Okay, so he
was-
his rebound total was pretty good, and he's 6'11". He was a
Yeah.
center.
Had a
So
good career, just was always probably
So-
just never the best player on his team, so we don't
Yeah.
hear about much.
Yeah, exactly.
he
And
was
when
just
you
a
were
big,
traded for Pippen, that's
a
big
good
shoes to
role
fill.
player
Yeah.
center is what he was.
Yeah, yeah. So you always think what could have been if they'd have kept him, the Sonics
Yeah.
team. But that's a good one. The next one, you got the Barkley trade?
Yes,
Where we're at?
Barkley.
Yes, sir. Sir Charles. What is he? Mound of rebound?
Round mound and
I
rebound.
love this guy, dude. He's one of my favorite NBA players
Yeah.
all time. He actually got traded a couple times, but this one we're focusing on is in 1992. Sixers sent him to the Suns.
Yes.
For the Sixers got
Jeff
Hornacek?
Horn. Yes.
Tim Perry,
And
Andrew
Andrew
Lang?
Lang.
Yes, sir.
Don't know of any of those guys. Never
I
heard
don't
of them before.
either. The Hornacek. I think I've heard.
I've
of
heard.
him.
I think I've heard of that name, but that's it.
I thought one of these guys was an all-star time or two, but Barkley was. He did win one MVP.
Yeah.
93.
Yep.
Yeah.
If he hadn't ran into Jordan, they probably won the
Win a
title.
title.
that year, if I
Yes.
remember
They
right.
were a great team in the West on that Suns teams with Barkley as the main player.
Yeah.
And he's coming off of, being the 76ers. He was a rookie there. They drafted him. I think they won a title that year. I'm pretty sure they did. No, they didn't.
I
No,
don't-
they won the title the year before. Obviously, Barkley never got a title.
Barkley played with Moses Malone, didn't he?
Yes.
I was thinking there were stories on
Yes.
that, how he took him under his wing
Yeah.
and said, if you want to be great.
Sorry, it was the year before the Sixers won the title, and they
Oh.
drafted Barkley.
Yes, Barkley never won
He
a
never
title,
won a
did he?
title. Yeah.
Man,
Nah.
like the honorary item ends. I love Chuck.
But yeah, I mean
the
this just
personality
kind of created a team that was a force to be reckoned with, and the only reason they didn't win titles because Jordan.
Yep. A lot of people had that same problem.
Yeah,
Really
he's not
did.
the only one.
No.
There's a lot of them in that
All
era.
casualties of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was. But he was a great player in his own right. And he actually got traded again to the Rockets, wasn't it?
Yes,
I think in 95, 6.
It was
The end of
after that. It was like
You're
2000 or 99.
No, I think it was right after that because you'd have to check me on this, but I think he went to the Rockets after they won the
Yes.
Jordan Hiatus.
Yeah,
He went there after it because weren't they going for the 3-peat?
Yes.
Got him, and
fell short.
wasn't a great fit, and
Yeah.
he was the end of his career.
Yep.
Didn't work out.
Yep.
Because I think that was on a trade that he was on. They were on the losing side, but we won't focus on that one. For this one, great trade for the Suns.
Next one is some high school kid got
I think
traded.
we've heard of this guy. I think we
Yeah.
have.
The
We're talking the late great
Yep,
Kobe Bean.
Kobe Bean.
Yes, sir. You got it up there. So you shoot.
Yep,
Go for that trade.
The at the time the Charlotte Hornets at the time drafted
forget
him
about that.
13th overall, straight out of high school. Lakers had scouted Kobe, absolutely loved him. I think West was in there a big time about scouting him and thought he was just a crazy competitor
Yes.
and everything.
What I read was he had done research on him, and they brought him in for an open workout.
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the gentleman's name is Michael Cooper, who was retired. He'd been a Laker. He was an All-Star, I think,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
a couple times. And they thought he would smoke Kobe.
Yeah.
Like, high school kid can't handle the pressure, everything. No. Kobe took him to town. Like
Yeah.
they said, they saw moves like MJ in that.
Yes.
He studied him.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
I believe, on The Last Dance, MJ was quoted saying that. The
Yeah.
one guy could beat me one-on-one, Kobe.
Because he took all my moves.
Yeah, he was.
He
No,
No,
stole
said
all.
my
He stole all
moves.
my
He didn't
moves.
say he studied them.
Yeah,
well,
he said he
that's
stole
how
all
you
my
know.
moves.
But
They traded him actually for a very good player
Yeah.
Yes.
in Vlade Divac.
And a fan favorite with the
Yes,
Lakers.
yes.
Like, it was actually, at the time, a somewhat unpopular trade.
Mm-hmm.
Because Divac was loved.
Yeah.
Was he double-ish machine?
Yeah,
I mean, he's
yeah.
a pretty good three-point shooter, wasn't he? And,
And
Lakers fans
I don't
loved him.
remember what he did in Charlotte. And
I
that's the
think
thing.
He
I don't.
was solid for 2 years.
And
if I remember
but then
3 years.
for me, Divac comes on with the Kings when he ended
Yeah.
up there. That's where I
Yeah.
think of Vlade Divac. So
Was that
Kobe
2000?
win any of his titles before Shaq came
No,
around?
no,
Okay,
no,
I
no,
didn't think
no.
so.
No, they had a three-peat together.
Yep.
And then I believe they were going for 4 when the Pistons
Yes.
debacle when they got upset.
So
and
they
moved
I
on.
remember they had made the playoffs and Kobe as a rookie had missed a bunch of shots in the playoffs and was airballing them and stuff and they were
yeah.
like, "What's this rookie doing?" and stuff like that. And then they came back and they're like, "He's got to keep shooting because he
Yeah.
has confidence in
He-
himself." And the next year he
exactly.
started playing better. He won the slam dunk contest and that kind of got him more popular.
Yeah.
And then sometime in there with them trading away Vlade, they needed the big man and then they signed Shaq.
See, that's what it said. And when I was looking up, that Buss had this plan. He knew Shaq was going to be free agent. And I think Shaq telegraphed he wanted to go to a big market.
Yep.
L.A., there you go, with, like we said earlier, the lineage of big
Big man, yeah.
Perfect fit. So there it was. But West, that's where he was a brilliant player, knew what needed to win, brilliant GM, and that led to this.
Yes,
So
exactly.
We'll see that.
So
trend.
a roundabout way, he ended up drafting Kobe and was able to get Shaq because
Yeah.
of this.
Oh, yeah. He knew what he was doing. So that was a heck of a trade, all-timer. I'll tell you what, I think right now we're going to take another
Yep.
break, and we'll come back, and now we're up to, like, when we were born.
Yeah.
Stuff that
Yeah,
we
there-
can remember.
Sort of. We'll be back, guys. We're going to keep this NBA train rolling here.
Yes.
And like I said, we're to the time we were, born and starting to dribble a ball a little bit.
Yes.
A little bit.
A little bit more.
98, Dirk.
Yeah.
The great.
This Dallas Mavericks team that wanted Dirk so bad.
They did.
I'm
Sorry,
trying-
what's a nickname for him? Like the German, I started to say Stallion, but that is so Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, I don't.
Did he have a nickname? Like he was so quiet, he may not have.
Yeah, I just know him as Dirk. I
produced.
really just don't think
Yeah,
he.
yeah.
I can't think of a nickname, but I'm probably missing
Yeah.
one, and
Well,
somebody's
that's why I was
yelling
like,
because
this
it's
has gotta come to
someone's
me.
gonna be yelling. It's so obvious, and I'm like, why am I missing
Mark
it?
Cuban's probably yelling at us like you idiots.
Probably, but
Yeah, 98. The Bucks. Make sure I get this right. They actually selected Dirk 9.
yes,
Dallas had the number 6 pick,
Mm-hmm.
and they took Robert
Tractor Trailer from
who-
Michigan.
Fitting nickname. He's a hoss.
He
I
was
mean,
a big boy.
Which traditionally, at this point in time in the NBA, I believe he would be like your prototypical guy you'd want. But Dirk,
Yeah.
7-footer, can shoot.
Yeah,
Was he kind of the first of that European? No, I'm sorry.
you,
Who
yeah.
was
We
right
talked
now?
about it last time.
Yeah, yeah.
Sabonis is the
Sabonis,
guy.
yep.
Sabonis is the guy Dirk watched.
Yep, there you go. There you go.
I'm trying to think if it was like a Hall of Fame video or something like that. There was a video I watched on YouTube that kind of showed how Dirk got drafted and his whole story. It's very, very interesting.
Okay.
but
It's
the
not Adam
Mavericks-
Sandler, is it?
No, no. The Mavericks were very much
Dirk
key.
was in that movie though.
He
Yeah.
was. That's why I brought it up.
They were
cool.
very much keyed in on him. They wanted Dirk. They had either brought him over, like I think he almost at one time played college in the U.S.
I believe he had an offer.
Yeah.
Was it Auburn?
Barkley was trying to get him to
Yeah,
go
There
yes,
it was.
yes.
Auburn. Yeah, that was it.
But
Like an
he ended up in
support.
Texas and like had played some games, and Mavericks had seen him and they almost were able to hide him, is what they were. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the case. It's like they
showcases weren't
he
the
wa-
same back
yeah,
then.
he was in Texas. They watched him play, and they kind of hid him from the rest of the NBA. And knew that this was something different that we had
Yeah,
really
yeah.
not seen before. Because Sabonis came in when he was very hurt.
Well, he was also
Yeah, he was
like
older.
as I said in the Barkley story a few episodes back. He was
Yeah.
actually going to go to the military.
Yes, yes,
And,
yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of kept him off of a lot of people's radar as well, is because like this guy's going to the military.
Yep.
And then
Look at
Charles
the country
Barkley
where
told
he's
him
at.
like,
That was how it
"You're
went.
7
you know?
foot tall. You don't need. You're too big. Go in the military. There
Trust
ain't enough stuff for you
Chuck.
to hide behind."
You get a shot, I'll make you money, son. Trust
Yes.
me. I see that jumper
Yeah.
a mile away.
And since we brought it up earlier, here are some Dirk Nowitzki nicknames.
Okay,
Oh,
yes, thank you.
Man,
Yes.
The
saving
Dirk
show.
Diggler,
I don't know that
the
one.
Dunking Dutchman,
Yep, I've got
German Wonderkind,
Wonder Kid.
and
Yeah,
the Germinator.
That's my favorite. I
I like the German Wonder Kid.
I truthfully don't. I can't say I remember hearing them, but I love them.
So, Robert Traylor, who was traded for Dirk, 438 career games, 4.8 points, 3.7 rebounds.
Dirk scored a few more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Dirk, multi-time
Slam dunk.
NBA or
boy,
MVP, Hall of Famer, changed the game. He's one of those that's
I believe Mark Cuban says that he's the kid he never had, and Mark Cuban had kids.
yeah.
I'm sure his kids appreciate that greatly. They do.
when you look at the modern,
Thanks, Dad.
honestly, when you look at the modern NBA, Dirk is one of the most influential players of all time.
Yep.
When you look at where it is now, being 7 foot, being able to shoot like he did. I mean, he was a sniper, and then of course the one-legged fadeaway is amazing.
Oh yeah.
you
It
got
just
kid-
brought a different dynamic, like you
Yeah.
said, that wasn't there in the game, and
That's a
made
big
defenses come out.
European thing in general now, because like Luka Doncic is a big thing about. He
Yeah.
does a lot of one-point
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's because of Dirk.
Well,
Dirk
and-
was the first
Yep.
one to do it.
Well, it's so hard
Turns
to
out
defend.
that there's something to that.
Yeah,
yeah. It's
Along-
hard to block that.
along with Manu doing the Euro step. Like
Yeah,
those are
yeah.
two European moves that are huge.
Which is
Yeah.
cool when you expand the game, bring different variances in. Like I think that's a lot of fun. Dirk, a lot of credit. The Mavs, a lot of credit for
Yeah,
this. 'Cause,
for-
I mean, what was the deal on it though? Like okay, so wasn't Traylor the number 6 pick
Yes.
and Dirk was number 9?
Mm.
So Dallas must have got the better player and draft capital or something. Because why didn't they just take him? But
Hold on, let me look it up.
I could
Well,
be
you
wrong
have Dirk
on
on your phone. You could probably look it up.
that. But regardless, that's a heck
You
of
may
a
just
trade.
look nicknames up.
I did just look up nicknames.
That's
So
fair.
we'll go ahead while you're looking that up. We'll go to another one unless you guys got any more Dirk thoughts. Because I'm going to tell you what. That finals against the Heat, that was for me like not a huge NBA guy. I was plugged into that. I'm not a big LeBron fan. Not gonna lie. I was
Okay.
rooting against him on that.
All right.
And that was amazing.
The Bucks selected him in the 9th pick and traded him to Mavericks in a multi-team deal. Future point guard Steve Nash came to Dallas in the same trade.
Oh no way.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So that also is in there. That adds to that trade
That's
even
a
more.
slam dunk.
I forgot he was on there.
I did too. Like I knew he was a Maverick, but didn't put that together.
Gosh, that makes that trade so much worse.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. Hell, that might be my worst trade.
It honestly might be. I may have. You go ahead and talk.
It's
I'm going to
crazy the
bring
different
up.
dynamics on some of these NBA trades like that. I had no idea, and just different guys flipping around. But anyway, like I was saying, that finals, what was it, 14, whatever it was, when Dirk, so I thought single-handedly
Yeah.
carried them against the Heat. Iconic moment. It was amazing. Got his ring.
Yeah, Traylor was selected 6 overall, and then Mavericks got draft rights to Dirk
Okay.
and forward Pat Garrity, and then they also somehow got Steve Nash in there as well.
That's a Stillman. You already won. So
I think
yeah,
that it was a
fair
multi-team trade, so that's what happened
amazing.
there.
Player to be
So.
named later is pretty good.
Yeah.
We've seen that in baseball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't Tatis Jr. a
Yep,
player to
that's
be named
exactly
later?
what I was thinking. Yeah, Fernando Tatis. You got to pay attention to that, guys. Those little details. That's a good one. All right, we'll move on. You guys have Aldrich as the next one in 06?
Yes, yes, I
Okay.
believe so.
So the Bulls have the number 2 pick.
Yep.
That correct in that draft. So smartly they take Aldridge and decide we'll trade him for Tyrese Thomas and Victor. Kai.
Yeah, I don't know how to
That
say
guy.
it.
Well,
That
I
guy.
don't know that guy, so he didn't
Yeah.
matter. So, what do you know on Tyrese Thomas? Because
Not much, and that's the thing.
Okay, there you have
He was a very athletic big guy.
it. Yeah, he'd been
and
around a little while, hadn't he? Like were the
He
Bulls?
he played
06?
for a little while.
That was before Rose. Is that the
He,
Heinrich days?
he played 06 to 10 on the
Okay.
Bulls, and then went to the Bobcats, and he went to the G League, and then
That
Memphis.
tells you a lot right there.
So,
Back down to the
yeah.
G League. Yep.
His
And
only
Aldridge was
his
still
only
playing in All-Star then,
his
so-
only thing he did in the NBA was all rookie second team. So he's all right as a rookie.
Yeah, just didn't.
He was
Um,
a top 10 rookie.
Fourth,
There you go.
he was
He did
drafted
something. He did
Yeah.
something.
fourth
Aldridge.
overall, average 5.2, 3.7, 1.1 in 13 minutes and
Not
as a
great.
rookie. So yeah, I mean he didn't do much
Yeah.
for the 'Bulls.
Well,
and
Aldridge did. for
Aldridge
Portland.
did.
Yeah, he did.
He went to Portland, and that was the guy they needed.
Yeah, was he an
Um,
All-Star for, was it 7, 8 years?
yeah,
Maybe
7, 8
more.
years.
Perennial.
They honestly were almost building something crazy with Brandon Roy and him
Yeah.
until Brandon Roy got hurt.
Hurt, right?
Yes.
Oh, I remember him.
They
He was
also
amazing at
there's
college,
also
wasn't
the point in there that they could have
he?
had
This thing up.
they could have had Durant, but we won't get into that draft mistake.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I
but-
forgot about that.
But Aldridge was just a great NBA player, as solid as they came.
yeah,
Honestly, you just knew what you was getting from him. 20 points, 10 rebounds. There it is.
yeah, he was solid, big guy. You could see the skill set like out of college.
Yeah, he went to Texas.
There
Yep.
we go. I was thinking the Durant connection there,
Yeah.
Texas. And then when these other two guys we mentioned were like, oh, what did he do? There you go.
Yeah.
That's a winner. That's a winner. So we got that one. Okay, we're gonna have some big ones coming
Yeah,
up.
now we're getting some
This is
newer
interesting.
trades.
Are we 13? Is that our next one?
20.
What I like to call the Woody fantasy trades.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna give you half my team for your bench and change. Here you go.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna go Celtics 2013, the end of an era. They
Yep.
traded Garnett and Pierce for basically another franchise.
And Jason Terry.
I'm sorry, yeah, Jason Terry.
Jason Terry was in
and-
there too.
Yeah, DJ White. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. There was 4
So
guys.
Brooklyn, this was at the time that their the Russian owner was a thing, and then they were building the Barclays Center, and all this stuff was
That's
going
right. There
on.
was
And
more
he
to
was
that.
trying to get this big super team to fill
He
up
thought he
that
could buy a
place.
title, didn't he?
Yes, he
Yeah,
was
that
trying
was
to buy a title. So
And
he
you can just get guys that are 25, 26.
yeah,
That's 40.
he traded for the old guard at the
Take note,
Celtics.
Mets.
Okay.
They figured that out.
Yeah.
They're paying for those 40-year-olds, but yeah, no, good call. Because actually, was it 07, 08 when Boston brought these guys
Yes.
in, Garnett and Pierce with Ray Allen?
Yep.
And yeah, it worked for them because,
Yep.
like we said, they were 30,
Yep.
young 30s. It worked. They meshed. But gosh dang, when you trade for these guys,
Yeah, they were all old
yeah,
at this
and
point.
on the clear decline,
Yes,
I believe.
very
Like,
clear decline.
And did they get 1 year of Garnett and 2 of Pierce?
Yeah, it wasn't much. It wasn't much.
I believe they did make the playoffs with him. They got bounced the second round that year.
Yeah. Probably by the Heat.
Well, what did Boston do with what they got?
Well,
This is
it's not
fun.
even about the players that Boston got, to be
Oh, no.
completely
That's what I'm
honest about
saying.
this. Because they got Keith
The
Bogans,
picks.
Marshawn Brooks, Chris Humphreys, Gerald Wallace, but they got.
Was that a lot of like salary too?
Yeah, I think this was
just-
salary dump
yeah,
and stuff like
'cause
that.
you're
But
getting to
they
what
got
was big.
4 first-round picks.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4.
So one of those they used for some guy named Jaylen Brown.
I've heard of him.
He's pretty good.
The
Yeah.
next one, the
Just want
Nets,
something.
the Nets ended up with the first overall pick.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Brilliant, Danny Ainge, went to Philadelphia and said,
Hey, guys.
I'm not going to make this first overall pick. I'll
Uh-huh.
trade down. You guys can take the first
It's like,
overall
but I'm gonna
pick.
shop it. So
I'm
you
going
better
to
give me
shop
something.
it, but there's this one guy who I think's the best player in this draft and who was the number 1 player in high school
Yeah,
going
yeah.
into college. And I'm going to
Man.
get him third overall named Jason
I'm
Tatum.
gonna say St. Louis's own.
Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
And then you have right here, they used the other first round pick for Kyrie
Yeah,
trade,
yeah.
but they also had this other trade that we're going to talk about in there as well.
Yeah,
We'll get to
that
it later
yes.
because, but
Basically, Ainge is a genius.
Ainge is like quite possibly one of the best general managers
Yeah,
of all time.
Of all time. Yeah.
Like,
Plus, when you guys were texting for the show, and I'm like, is this almost like the Rays, with the Cardinals,
Yeah.
where if they want somebody, okay, now who is that? All right, we're going to keep
but this
Well,
isn't.
like his
hang on.
guys got old, and then he's just like, you know what? Give me 5 years, we'll run it back with these new
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
It's amazing. He was looking at the future. It's like
Yeah.
there wasn't much left of those
But
guys.
it's not just like against one team. It's just don't trade with Danny Ainge ever.
Yeah, he's got an angle.
He's got an
trading
angle.
These guys, maybe they're hurt. Maybe
Yeah.
something's going
His,
on.
his,
We'll get to that.
his talent evaluation is
Spot on.
It's
Spot on.
spot on.
Spot
So,
on.
like I said, you say who they want, and they're like, all right, I'll take them. That
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yep.
So, but yeah, no, this slam dunk, this might be one of the worst ever. Because I mean, it set Brooklyn back.
It
Oh,
set
gosh,
Brooklyn
dang.
back forever. I mean, they're still back. They tried to sign
Yeah,
all those
they're-
other guys, and they still haven't been back. So
And we'll
Yeah.
get to know
And
this.
it's-
Almost like you'd see this and you'd learn your lesson. Maybe don't trade away like 4 or 5 draft
Yeah.
classes for players.
yeah, and this
get
set
to
the Boston Celtics on what might be a dynasty. We don't
Dynasty.
know. Right now, they are the best team in the NBA, and
They are.
like it's not shown anybody can touch them yet.
Yep, which that's what's
Yeah.
key is they not only got these picks, they hit on them.
Yes.
That's the second
Yeah.
part of that. So very impressive work by Ainge. Yeah, this is a bad one. So, all right, we're going to take one last break, and we'll come back and talk about some more of these fairly
Yep.
recent trades. We'll be back. All right, and we're back. We're going to take this baby home. We're going to stay right on that
Yeah, we're gonna
Celtics train.
tie in on the Celtics trade here,
So we just
and
talked about the big Garnett saga, that trade with Garnett and Pierce, and now this one. Ainge keeps working.
yeah,
How about
Danny
it,
Ainge.
Maestro?
So at the time he brought in this is 20. It's like in the 2015. I don't know. We didn't.
It'd be
We,
20.
we got confused because this person got traded twice, and they were both
Yeah,
really
yeah,
bad
exactly,
trades. And we're
yeah,
going to
so-
talk about both of these back to back. But the first time is when Isaiah Thomas went to the Celtics. So he was on the Kings, and then he had a brief stint with the Suns. And then Danny Ainge decided, oh, I'm going to trade you some dude named Marcus Thornton and a 2016 first rounder for IT. IT ended up becoming a Boston legend.
Yeah.
yeah.
Honestly, like
He
He's one of like the most impressive players to watch because he was so small and he was just he was that team.
He almost scored 30 a year, though,
yeah.
or a game that one year.
I want you to give your famous quote you always give all the time about.
Oh boy! Oh, heart. Yeah, exactly. You gotta have miles and miles of heart, guys. What are we missing?
Yeah.
Heart. There we go.
So he was that, and they
Yeah,
completely
multiple guys,
they
yeah,
completely fleeced the Suns in this. The
Yeah.
fun fact we were talking about this
I
before
was wondering we could get to
before
that,
the recording because Woody was like, he's Isaiah Thomas' son. I'm like, no, I don't
Yeah.
think we're related at all. So
It's
I
like, they're both basketball players. They're
Yeah.
both shorter. They're guards. It was like
yeah.
there might be something here.
So
Who would have thought
I
I'd heard
went
about that before?
I went on Wikipedia and looked it up because I was curious, and it turns out that Isaiah Thomas's dad was a huge Lakers fan. He made a bet with his best friend that if his beloved Lakers didn't beat his best friend's beloved Pistons in the '89 finals, he would name his son after the point guard of the Pistons, aka Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas.
So that
yeah.
is how we ended up with both Isaiah Thomases.
And then we also discussed like how long do you think it was before his wife was broken the news?
Exactly.
That's
How
why.
did that go?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you what, we went through these.
Was she just
naming
on
our daughters.
board? Like was she there when the trade was being discussed?
Right.
Yeah.
Or
right.
the bet was being discussed?
Or was
would
this a
bet
few years
not it
later?
wouldn't have happened. 'Cause I will go on the record. I considered naming our daughter her middle name Gloria. She's Adeline Grace. Gloria after the Blues won the cup.
Yep.
She was 6 months in the womb then. I got pointed out how, hey, we don't mess around with kid names. I don't care what your sports team does. But no. Even my stepbrother, who was a lifelong Blues fan, was like, dude, wake up. No, you're not gonna do it, daughter. It's like, don't make her hate you before she's here. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
fair
So,
point.
Yeah, he makes a good point. And boy, I don't know. Do we know if Thomas Sr.'s still alive? Should we look into that? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Murdered by his wife.
Yeah. Undisclosed reasons.
In 91.
So, guys, we do not recommend what he did, but it is
No,
very
it's
cool.
very funny
cool
story.
It
So
really is, yeah.
and now you can talk about when the IT left
Well,
the Celtics.
this is what's crazy is they made a good trade to get him there, and then they traded him to Cleveland, which, if I remember at this point in time, there was a little bit of drama around LeBron and Kyrie.
Yes,
wasn't that
yeah.
right?
Kyrie wanted to be
Coming
the
off the
alpha
title.
and all that stuff,
Exactly.
and now Kyrie has come out. He's like, I shouldn't have done that. He
could've
really
won
he
more.
really regrets it now.
Yeah,
but at the time, that's what he wanted.
Yep.
So
And Cleveland, they traded.
IT was hurt at the time,
Exactly.
and Cleveland traded for him, and we all know how that worked out.
That's why I was saying that earlier about maybe trading with this guy when the guys are hurt. Don't do it. But he was coming off an amazing year, and you talked about
Yes.
selling high
They sold
Sold
high,
high.
about as high as he could.
because he never.
He was never the
was
same.
was he?
No.
No, he wasn't. Was it shoulder? Was that right? I can't remember.
I can't
what it was.
remember what it was, but he was just never the same after it.
Which when you're that small, you kind of need everything working to
Yeah.
do what you do.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, Ainge turned around and traded. He got Kyrie for. Hold on a second. Thomas went to Cleveland for Kyrie and change is what I
Yes.
had. Jay Crowder, visit. Yeah, sure.
Sure.
And 2 draft picks. I
Jay
think
Crowder's
one
a great spot shooter in his
He
own
was,
side.
yeah.
Still is.
Still,
still in the
he
league.
stayed Boston a while.
Unless he
didn't
just retired this past year. But I know
Yeah.
last year he was still in the
Yeah,
league.
but when you look at the currency that got, I mean, that was a heck of a trade. And once again, Ainge, I mean, we talked about it. Possibly the best GM history.
Okay, you got it on the wrong side. The Cavaliers got Thomas, Crowder, and Zizic. The
Okay, for Kyrie.
Celtics only got Kyrie.
Okay.
I
Well,
thought that
still
was
works.
I thought it was flipped. Yeah. So
So yeah, still though a healthy Kyrie. I don't know that is that even right? guy's name?
yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
we don't. I guess
But,
we're gonna say he was insignificant. Is that fair to say?
the Kyrie in Boston worked out pretty well. Now Boston completely hates him because he left the way he did. But that was
It seems as though he has some unceremonious. You know,
yeah.
it's-
Kyrie's an odd guy.
He is. He thinks the world is flat. Is that right? Isn't he one of those flat
Yeah,
earthers, I believe?
yeah, something along
So,
that
yeah, I'm not
line.
quite sure about that one.
So we
wait.
learned that in
Geography, another one of our strong suits.
Yeah.
So, enough of that one. As these next two.
Yeah,
we
and we
tried.
tried to go chronological order and we missed
did.
this one, but we're gonna go back.
Well, you can't get dates right sometimes.
Yeah.
But, you'll have that. We're on Harden, right?
Yeah, James Harden coming from OKC to
Yes.
the Rockets. Harden was,
Huge.
of course, the sixth man, possibly one of the greatest six men we have ever seen.
Yep.
It was pretty obvious he should have been starting to
That's
everyone,
why I was like, why did he not?
but
I
he
never
just
remember
was
that.
like that.
It worked.
That Thunder team was loaded. back
Yeah,
then.
oh,
I mean, that
absolutely.
team
Yeah.
was
Westbrook,
loaded.
Durant, Harden.
Didn't they in consecutive drafts take Durant, then Westbrook, then Harden? Was
Yeah.
that right?
Yes.
You talk
Yeah.
about hitting on draft picks.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's 3 really good ones in a row.
Way to go.
3 Hall of
Way to go,
Famers.
yeah.
Har-
That's how you tank to perfection, guys.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
they weren't even tanking. It was just how it worked out because
I
they,
think you're
they
right,
became a new
yeah.
team, is
They were
what it was.
expansion,
There
you're
was
right, you're
expansion. Well, Seattle moved, and then
That's
all that
right,
stuff.
yeah.
But anyways, that team was amazing.
But this was kind of, there was other circumstance on this one because Harden wanted paid.
He wanted
That's
paid, and he
considered-
wanted to be the alpha.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would say Alpha is about the best way to explain Houston
What
Rockets.
do you
At
Rockets
the same time.
Harden is a
I
spectacle.
mean,
Rockets Harden may be a top 10 player all time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, Rockets Harden, yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Guys, with a beard like that, come on.
Yeah.
I'm working on it, guys. I ain't right there.
So
I don't think
he-
the basketball skills are gonna follow.
He got traded for the Rockets. Got Harden, Cole Aldrich, former Kansas guy,
Yeah, I remember that guy.
pretty decent center.
Yep.
They got OKC got Kevin Martin, Mister almost as bad of a shot as Sean Marion.
Yeah, ugly.
Yeah, Jeremy
Sean
Lamb.
Marion has a real bad problem with that on
Matrix.
social media lately. They make people making fun of his shot.
Yeah,
I make more than you do, don't I?
Yeah.
there you go.
they got Jeremy Lamb, which he was an all right
was
player. He was
UConn.
UConn.
Yeah,
Yep, he
yeah,
was on
yeah.
those UConn teams. And
Yeah.
then they got 2 first-round picks. One of them became Steven Adams.
Yeah, who was a very
He
solid.
was a very
role player.
solid player.
Remember,
He's
wasn't
been
he?
been in the league forever. He's
I
still
think
in the
he-
league.
Is he still in the league? I
He's
thought
still in
last
the
year he
league.
was out.
And
He- no, he was
He's
hurt.
just been hurt the last
He
5
was
years.
hurt, yeah. But
Does he
you know,
know
the
Sam
Rockets.
Adams? That's
The
my
only thing
question.
they need to know.
He looks like he does.
He does.
Yeah.
Oh, and Mitch McGarry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
He
Mitch
was a
McGarry.
role player for
Yeah.
a while. Not quite Adams. And
But Rockets Harden was ridiculous.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was. And when I was reading and researching this, I forgot about the contract demands. It was like $4.5 million
Mm-hmm.
more, which I don't know how that would have affected the cap, but I was like, gosh dang. Can we cut somebody?
Well,
James
yeah.
Harden?
I mean, the Thunder were basically they chose Ibaka over Harden.
You're right, yeah. And was Kendrick Perkins? Didn't they give him a big deal around that?
They
too?
might have, yeah. I think
I think
they did.
I think I was looking
Because
at the
yeah,
contract
that
for
would have been Perkins. Ibaka started on that team.
Yeah.
Durant, Westbrook, and I don't remember who else.
Maybe they were trying like rounding the team out.
They were
against these
trying
guys,
that.
So I kind of get that. But man, let a talent like this go out the
Mm-hmm.
door for. And I don't think Kevin Martin was there long. Was it
No.
like a year? It was about it. Pretty high contract too, and that just did not fit. Man, if they would have kept them together. If I remember right, they lost to the Heat. Was that 4-1?
Yeah.
That finals they made it to, and then Harden
They
got traded.
they shouldn't have made it either. I could see. I was watching a lot more NBA back then.
Oh yeah.
And I could see, I'm like, this Thunder team's going to be a problem in a couple years. And then they made it to that finals way before they were supposed to.
Wow. And that unfortunately was the peak. Did they ever get back?
I think they got back a couple times.
Okay. Did they really?
But they lost the Western Conference Finals and stuff. Because, I mean, KD and Russ was
Yeah, there's
still
a heck-
very great. And
Yeah.
Ibaka was still a great big man at the time.
Yeah, I knew they were good. but
Meanwhile,
I-
they're watching the Harden drop 40 points a game over there.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Watching that thing splash. That's
Yeah.
rough. That's
was
rough.
was that predates Steph Curry coming into the league?
No, they were in the same draft.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
Harden and Curry were.
I was trying to figure out which one of them was like the birth of like the consistent logo
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
because they were both like right around that time.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm
I was
pretty-
thinking Curry back to college though. Like I
Yeah.
remember him at Davidson, little guy hitting it from half court. Like,
Yep.
man, can't defend that. You guys want our last trade here? Because this one is, I think when you talk about all the dynamics, this one's the biggest one as far as like, and we don't even know the impact.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
just back on that.
Oh, sorry.
That was the 09 draft with Blake,
Oh yeah, that guy.
Harden,
Okay,
and
well,
and this is the one that 3 straight point guards with. That was Rubio, Evans, Flynn before Steph.
wow.
It wasn't number. I thought number 2 overall, and that was like Kashim to beat. Or
It
something.
was Hashim to
Oh
beat.
my
Yeah.
It was
gosh.
Hashim to beat
I don't
you
know
know-
why I remember that
because he was one of the biggest busts of all time.
Yeah, the Steph thing though, like you look at his size and all, like, yeah, it looks bad now, but at the time, you know,
Yeah, but still, yet they draft. There was. Well, that's a whole other episode.
Yeah, I know, yeah,
Time
yeah.
out. That's a
I
whole
don't think
other
Rubio
episode.
played under that draft
got-
either. I think that he went back to Euro for a couple
He
years.
did.
I
He
think
did.
you're right. But we got one more. This is big. The Paul George to the Clippers.
Yeah, the
trade.
most recent one, and it is terrible.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing the foresight Oklahoma City had on
Yes.
this one. So let me see if I get this right. Paul George, that is the only piece going to Clippers,
Yes.
correct? Just
Oh,
Paul
my.
George, yeah. And Oklahoma City got at the time Shea
Gilgeous Alexander,
SGA.
SGA,
Yeah, everybody knows who he is.
who I'm pretty sure just last night dropped 50.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Last year was an MVP candidate. This year's looking like it again.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And here's what's interesting when I was looking into this is Doc Rivers, he actually told Kawhi was going there to sign, correct? And Kawhi wanted to play with Paul George,
Yep.
and he was like, "Okay, I get that, but this kid's good."
Yeah.
He's like, "If you'd be patient a few years, he's like, he could be even better."
Now
He knew
he's
what he was
looking at
talking
it.
about. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, that alone makes this a bad trade. But it's like we're not done.
No, we're not even close.
Not even close. They got Gallerini.
Gallinari.
Gallinari.
Sorry, bad Italian pronunciation. And here's what's crazy: 4 unprotected first-round picks from 2022 to 2026. Like I
Ooh,
said,
it's not even done yet.
No,
It's not.
It's not.
It's not done.
Every year this is getting worse and worse. And I ran across something on YouTube where in a press conference they asked Paul George about it. He's like, yeah, they won that trade. That trade for me. Yeah, definitely. We didn't do much.
Right
They-
now, SGA alone is about
Yeah.
equal to him, if not. Well,
Yeah.
right now he's better. Throughout,
is.
since the trade, probably about equal.
I would say you're
Paul
right.
George has
Yeah.
still been very
Yes.
good.
Then
He
they
has,
they
yeah, he did
traded
something.
they
But-
drafted Jalen Williams, who was an absolute
That's what I
stud on
said.
that
He was in
team.
2023
2022.
too. Okay, Trey Mann was before him. Is that right?
Yes, it's hard to track because
Yeah.
the Thunder have even traded these picks again.
I know. Well, that's what I asked one of our buddies. Like, how do they have so many freaking picks? And he said
That's
they
just-
kind of compounded trades. Like they had.
They
Him
ju-
and the Knicks both did that a couple of years where they just
Yeah.
like, next thing you know, they've got 20 picks in a 2-round
Yeah.
draft.
They've had 13 or 14 over the last few
Yes.
years.
Yeah.
It's under half. It's
Yeah.
unreal what they've done. And they're set up for a dynasty. Like, you know, when you can get those guys young, the contracts.
They're really hoping the Clippers fall off and they can get the number 1 pick this next year.
Oh my
Like
God,
this is
I
not
forgot
done.
about
This is
that.
not done, and like it's hard to keep track of the Thunder's picks because of how many they've had. But it's just
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
You talk about artwork. I mean, brilliant GM work. This is it. To
Yeah.
me. Like to have that many trades to reshape your franchise, and who knows? You
Now
know,
the Thunder are like
maybe
the
time-
best young team in the
Yeah.
league, and they're
Fun.
only getting
They're
better.
Fun. Yeah, they are.
I think they're kind of injured right now, but they're
Right.
only getting better.
Reminds me of the Dallas Cowboys, the Great Train Robbery.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Herschel.
Yeah.
Talking about-
Yep.
yeah. They got draft picks from Minnesota for like 4 years. So.
Mhm.
You guys got any more? That's
Nope,
about it.
that's it.
That
That's
was a
what
good
we've
one, didn't
got.
it?
That was,
a good one.
yeah.
So brilliant. Thank you guys for listening. Follow this little journey with us, and do it all
Fo-
he said earlier.
Follow us on all the socials,
Yeah.
like, comment, subscribe on all the things, and let
Yep.
us know what you're thinking. And tell us in the comments of either TikTok or YouTube, tell us what you think the worst trade is on this list.
Absolutely. Love to
Yes.
hear back from you.
Love
So,
to hear feedback.
We
So.
appreciate all the support, guys. That's all we got for
Once
tonight.
again,
so
thanks for watching.
Yes.
And see
We'll
you
see you
next week.
again.
classy Southern Illinois.